I just realized that I need that stand for my pumpkin that I put out every single year. So I'm gonna have to take that apart and do something else with the inkwells. But one has to do what one has to do.
Well, hello kindred spirits. In today's video, we're going to have a mini fall decor home tour of Sugarwood. I'm going to show you the cottage mirror craft project that I completed for Emma's bathroom. We're going to take a little tour of Tarbin Gardens in Franklin, New Hampshire. And then, impromptu, just yesterday, went to a friend's house and a little mini home tour of their lake house while she makes us dinner. Or I should say lunch. I hope you enjoy.
The table is still wet from something I just cleaned up. I will show you that in a moment. But I'm going to be putting out the pumpkin and the stand and the garland I have done for, I don't know, 6 years, maybe 7, I don't know. I found this garland thrifting and I don't remember how much. Like I said, it's probably in an old video. And I have this stand that I found thrifting and this pumpkin I found thrifting. And it's been part of our autumn, Halloween, and Thanksgiving decor for many years, and it's that simple. I think I'll add maybe some candles on either side. I do that often with this. It's falling apart. We'll let that happen. It's old. And I like to take my time and turn the leaves so that you don't see the metal. So I'll go around and I'll do that. But what I'm going to do right now is just give you a little visual tour of some of the touches I have added to the house. They might be small, but it's a start. And I'm getting ready for Falloween, like I've done the past few years. A little Halloween, a little fall. And this year I have decided it's going to be black, burnt orange, and creams for the color theme this year for fall and Halloween decorating. I quickly put something together here on the hutch. I have some beautiful brown glasses, the brown and white dishes I thrifted last year, and I have some roosters and chickens and some other items that just say fall to me. Like I said, this is just the beginning, but I brought some things out here for a touch of fall in the kitchen. Well, there's a few Falloween touches around the house. And when I say a few, I mean just a few. I took a few things out of the loft. Now, you've seen this the other day, a picture that I had up there and the books that I found while thrifting. And actually, I've had these, I think, since we moved here. I made some little acorns with the acorn top and bee balm. So these have lasted for years, and I just have it in a little dish. I brought out some of the leaf dishes that I have. And one thing that's new here in the kitchen, if you haven't been on Instagram, we have a chandelier over the baker's table, and I'll show you a different view from that. Now, I do think I want to bring it down a couple chain links. The electrician that worked on this, I said I want to be able to walk under it. Well, he was almost 6'2", so I wasn't here for a lot of the work, unfortunately. So I do think I want to have that lengthened a little. He said he left some extra wire. I have to get some more chain links. But anyways, this was in the Tavern before, and now I have it in here. Now, another little Falloween touch. I have a pumpkin over here, and things are going to move, but it's plain right now. But when we get closer to Halloween, I can just turn it, and I have some lights inside. But right now, we're just going to go with a little bit of the fall harvest look. And once again, these are just a few things I pulled out. This is not where everything is going to stay yet. Over here, I think I showed a view already. We have our witch. And she is sitting in the chair that I found for free. I haven't even fixed it yet, but is she the perfect size or what? Her feet are just perfect on the floor, so that was meant to be. And this was a suggestion by a couple kindred spirits, and for those who called her Matilda, the memory, unreal. So yes, she fits perfect there. Now I took out of the loft, and I know the lighting's not that bright, but I'm doing a nice cozy night thing here because I have some candles going. But I also found in the loft, I forgot I made this garland last year, just a little pull. So I have the corn at the bottom, and then I have some black-eyed Susan pods here, and then the apples and the corn husks, and then just a ribbon at the top. So I just hung that right here for now. A lot of this, like I said, for now, I don't know what's going to change or not. And then we have our pumpkin. I brought out some oiled bronze looking candlesticks and some candles. And then I brought out my table runner. Now here's a thing you might notice. The black and green wing chairs are on the porch. One thing with those, I wasn't able to bring other things out. Well, I was able to, but I don't like mixing plaids with plaids when they're the similar size. And I missed having this. So what I did, I have the two blue chairs over here right now. I'm going to I'll put on a light now. I'll just put this on so we can see what's going on here. Oh, that's kind of too bright. Let's see. Let's turn those up. It's still gonna be kind of cozy looking. So I have the two chairs here that were in the tavern and then in the library for a while. And I decided to bring them in here for now. When we sit, we've already been able to sit here nicely, and it looks right out the window. So we'll be able to watch fall happen and winter, the snow. I think will be very pretty. And right now I just put the Salem General Store sign here. I will be hanging that at one point, but I just leaned it there. And I mentioned, I think earlier, or maybe it was just on Instagram, the theme color I'm gonna do this year is the black, of course. We're gonna do the burnt orange, browns and creams and some greens, just like these little pumpkins. I have the candles going. These candles, I believe, were in last year's fall box. I do have some fall boxes left. We kind of planned for quite a few, and I do have a few left. And also, if you're seeing this before 7 p.m., we had to postpone the Halloween box because we were just trying to catch up, and the post office had to get a larger truck. So we're gonna be doing the fall box, we're gonna be doing the Halloween box release on this coming Tuesday at 10 a.m. And read your newsletters if you get your newsletter. I'm gonna send that out probably a little bit later today, Sunday, if you're seeing this on Sunday. I have been busy and fun busy. We've been doing a lot of social things, and I think you've seen it already in the video. And so yes, we've been out at a few friends, and I showed the yoga. So this was a really great week of doing some things out and about. Now I'm going to show you something else. Showing you the tavern light that I have over here. And let me show you what is now in the tavern.
I filmed part of this a little earlier, but I wanted to show the potpourri I have in an old lantern there. And then you're just going to see a few things disappear on this mule chest at the top in just a moment. Just like magic. Once again, I filmed it at a different time.
I feel like the rooms are still kind of bare, but that's what it's going to be for a while until I re-swizzle a lot of the things. Since we had the water damage, I'm moving things around. Like, I brought this chest back. I do like it here in the dining room, and I'm going to put some more things on the wall, like some plates, and really start to put the finishing touches on the house. And I ended up bringing the buffet here into the tavern. And I did a tiny little fall element here with a faux pumpkin. I have some pheasant feathers, and I just put one of the top hats that I used in the Christmas decor, and I had it year-round actually in the library up on a shelf. But everything just is kind of being put back together. And like I mentioned, I do have a chandelier. We ended up having to chain it over. And here's another thing. I have to have my electrician redo this because they didn't go through the chain. They just went kind of in and out. And I need to have it go in and out of the chain. So I know that's a weird thing. And then the chain stops. But once again, I wasn't here when this contractor was working, so beggars can't be choosy, but I will get that fixed and I'll be able to swing this over, and there's a little extra if I want to drop it. But this chandelier I bought 2 years ago or 3 years ago, thinking it might go in the kitchen, but it was too big. And it works perfectly in here. This room never had any light, and now it's on a dimmer, and this room gets nice and bright now. Or a lot brighter than it was. Willow is panting up a storm. We just came in. So that's been a long time coming. We put the smaller chandelier in the kitchen, which you saw. And then I'm gonna have a dimmer put on this. Now this had lights, but and it looks blue here in the camera, but it's not in person, which is weird. It had fluorescent lights, but they weren't always working. So we ended up having strips put in, just some LED lights, and I am going to put it on a dimmer just to tone it down just a little bit. But in person it looks more of a warm color, and unfortunately in the video it's blue or bright white. That's a bummer, but that's okay. One thing I forgot to mention is the silver light that was over the sink. I ended up spray painting it black just to make it work with the chandelier. But this was my dilemma. This was on its own switch, and I was hoping to put the chandelier on its own switch. The only way to do that was to take the wiring from this light to this one so that I could have its own switch. And now this light is on with all of the other ceiling lights. So I was gonna make it a flat light also, but we discussed it and we realized that it wouldn't glow into the cabinet. So I just got out some flat spray paint while the electrician was working on some other projects and have that. But unfortunately, it all goes off with that. But it's on dimmers, so it can go off all the way or up or down or part way. Last thing I want to show you, last year I received this gift from a kindred spirit, and I've had it on my library shelf, but I knew I was going to take it out and have it out and about so I can enjoy it all through the fall and Halloween season. And this is a creativity that I don't believe I have. Now my daughter makes these, and she used to do it a lot when she was younger. But this book is all types of beautiful scraps put together and little envelopes. There's so much detail, and there's little notes in here. Every page is different. Every page is unique. A little letter from the kindred spirit. It is magical. And I love going through here and just looking at all of the details that she did. This must have taken so much time, and I greatly appreciate it. This is going to be treasured, and I do love sitting and looking through it. Every time I go through it, I see something different. And she even gave me some items that I can play with myself and add to the book. So once again, this is beautiful, and I can't wait just to sit with my coffee and take every page in. But that will be out for me to enjoy.
Once a week, I like to pop into the village of Hancock, New Hampshire, and grab some fresh fish at the market. And while I'm here, I can't help but just walking around the village just a little bit, especially with the fall weather arriving. I know I keep showing this, and I will keep showing this, but we have so many new followers. I love to visit the carriage house out back. It's quite unique for me, at least. It's curved, and can you just imagine people arriving with their horse and their buggy and getting ready to go to the meeting house and tucking them right back here in the carriage house? I can, and I love visiting here and kind of stepping back in time just a little bit. Do you remember the flowers that we pressed and dried? And I mentioned I was going to put them on a mirror. Well, today's the day. I got the mirror out, I painted it, and I even painted underneath because the reflection of the mirror was showing the unpainted wood. And I simply went around and I laid out some of the flowers, and then I got my decoupage medium and I went to work. Now, unfortunately, I only had gloss. So I'm going to show you the finished product with the gloss, but I will be going over it with a matte finish at one point. And I am so pleased at how it came out. And I hope to show you next week this hung, because I think the carpet's being installed on Thursday. Then I could put the bed in, and then I could put this over the bathroom sink and start decorating Emma's bedroom.
One of Ben's favorites to have with dinner is a simple tomato, mozzarella, oil, salt. I add basil to mine. He's not keen on basil. So what I do is I make a batch. I put it in a little glass container. What we don't eat for that particular meal, it's enjoyed the next day along with lunch. I have to cut a little bit more mozzarella, and I have another tomato, and I'll add to this. But I just thought I would share. That's what we're doing on this evening with some roasted chicken that I'm making. Well, I'm doing something different today. I got an invite by one of our girls to go take a yoga class outside in the garden. And I'm figuring weather's beautiful. This is a garden I've been wanting to go to. I believe it's called Tarbin Gardens. It's up in Franklin, New Hampshire. So that's about an hour and a half from me. And the class is at 5:30. So I'm going to go a little early and see what I can see and take you along, hopefully show you some of the gardens. And I probably won't be showing you some of the yoga because I think I've done yoga once or 2 or 3 times in my whole life. One was hot yoga, did not like it. One was a breathing yoga, I liked it. And then I've done, I think, one other yoga class, but my watching them to see what I had to do was more awkward probably than the doing it, if that makes sense. But I figured it would be fun, and once again, it's going to be outside in a garden. How can I say no? So I'm looking forward to it. And it is a beautiful, beautiful September day. It says 80, but it's dry and it doesn't feel hot, so it's really nice. And the leaves are turning, which I love seeing.
Here we are at Tarbin Gardens. It's an English-style garden, my first visit, and I was meeting my stepson's girlfriend who invited me, and she ended up surprising me by also inviting my daughter. So the 3 of us got to walk around the gardens, and I was here for some inspiration because we're going to be doing a lot with that open space that's in front of the barn over the years. But I loved seeing this little folly, and in a moment I'm looking at all the different paths because we have all the wonderful paths that we're working on in the woods, but they did have wood chips, they had stone, they had some bluestone squares. So I really liked seeing how they transitioned from one place to another, and it was seamless. They had shade gardens, they had sun gardens. It was very enjoyable. And it is $10 to walk around the garden. We paid a little bit more to have the yoga included.
It's a hydrangea garden here. I like the oak leaf one, very distinct. So many different types, but I like this idea.
Now on Friday afternoon, left the office and I whipped up some of these cookies. Some of you have already enjoyed these because this was part of the fall box. I'm going to give that away. They are delicious oatmeal raisin cookies. But I was baking them to bring to a friend's house, and this is my daughter's cat, Cricket. You may have met her in another video. They were staying for a couple nights because my daughter has been working several hours at the office, and then Ben and I were going to do a late night, so she was there to also be with Willow. But let me show you the house that we went to with a little paint job that I helped consult on. Now, I will ask to take more photos of this room, but on Friday night, we went to dinner at a friend's house, and I did a color consult with them to repaint their kitchen. And we ended up doing the center island in this beautiful red, and then we did the darker knobs, and I really like how it came out. Bats are out early morning, catching their mosquitoes. Now, on Saturday morning, we headed over to my cousin's house, and I will say, started out as a kindred spirit, started following the channel or Instagram a while ago. We found out that we are cousins, distant DNA relatives, and we have been friends ever since. So we're going to see their second home. It's a lake house up in New Hampshire, and it's a model home. It was brought in pieces, and she has added so much personalized detail you would never know. So Amy's going to give us a little tour of her house here and there while we enjoy cocktails and some homemade pizza.
There you go, my dear.
Sangria.
Now you're going to hear some beeping in the background. It's not your imagination. The oven timer was going off, and we ignored it because we were walking around looking at her house. And that's okay.
This is
Fancy
Amy's
fabric.
snug. Do you want to say hi, Amy?
Welcome to the snug. It's very snuggly, especially in the winter.
I love the ottoman here. It looks a little, is this a Laura Ashley or a Ralph Lauren?
I don't know what it is. A girlfriend gave it to me, and I said, I'll take it.
It's beautiful.
And I made this decoupage with cocktail napkins. And then I found that lampshade in an antique shop, and it happened to have been Matthew's like years ago, and it was in photo shoots of his in Country Home.
And now you have
And
it?
I just saw it, and I bought it at Concord Antiques, and when I showed it to him, he was like, that was mine.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
I love this light.
Oh, yeah.
The color is perfect in here.
Yeah. That's from New York City, so I loved it.
Now, Amy did this mural on her own. Amazing.
Yeah, it still needs some, like, see this? It's supposed to be for a thermostat. The carpenter to make me a hobbit door, and he thought, what? You know, so.
So this is just storage under the stairs, and
Yeah.
look at the unique door with
And
the
it
pine
makes
tree
it
cutout.
just like kind of fun.
And all of this board was added
Yep,
to
to
have
finish
a
it.
nice little, oh, this is, look at how cozy this is, right at the lower level.
Yeah, and when you come
I
in,
feel like you're in a main camp. It's a
and
lake
that was
house.
the whole idea of it. And then look, you're right on the level with the lake. You can walk out if people are boating or swimming, they can come in here, and it's just sort of like an old summer camp. That's sort of the feeling. of it.
It absolutely feels like that, especially the deer.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
and the
then
old.
all the vintage pennants on the walls, they're all New Hampshire, they're all old. And I met a dealer who had all of them, I bought them all. And it just makes it feel more authentic.
Absolutely.
And then we added this bath in here. And that is, this is a Martha Stewart auction item that I got years and years ago, and I held on to it forever. So,
While we're standing in the bathroom, I should mention that Amy is a designer, was a designer,
Yep.
had a shop, has
Retired.
been in quite a few magazines. Her homes have been in magazines, and this is their lake house in New Hampshire, about an hour from us.
and that's the sign from the Wolfboro Bookshop that must have closed, and I bought it.
Beautiful. So let me see if I got this straight. Dave, her husband, his uncle was the original Mr. Peanut. So
Yes,
his
so-
uncle's legs is what you would see out of the costume. Is that what you're saying?
Well, he did have to go to sales events in the outfit, but he was like the East Coast Mr. Peanut.
All right.
So fun
I'm
fact.
just sitting here relaxing while putting Amy to work.
Yeah.
Are you going to spin that for us?
No, I can tell it's really relaxed. See that? That's going to be a good pizza. So my oven here is one of those Ilbys, and it has a pizza setting. So it really does make fantastic pizza.
Oh, it's beautiful. I had to touch this. I thought it was real tile. It's
Yeah,
not. It's
no.
wallpaper. Guys,
is.
look at this. I have to actually touch it to see that.
Yeah, and it's actually vinyl,
It
so
is
you
great.
can scrub it. And I was gonna do, like, I bought a bunch of these tiles. I just haven't gotten around to doing my tiles
And this
yet.
is a cook's kitchen, so you're going to see stuff here in the kitchen.
Right. And so these I got at auction from Kaminsky, and
Oh,
I
they're
got 30
beautiful.
of them. So someday,
You can do it all along here.
yeah, and I might be doing something here.
Beautiful.
But after I did that, it really made the kitchen so.
Yeah, but it's a huge difference. So it's a little bit of Italian dipping oil, and then just tomato sauce. Which makes
And then I'm gonna
mix it together instead of using a
just
pizza
spread
sauce.
it out. Mix it
My mouth
together.
is watering.
And it only takes 10 minutes or 9 minutes to cook a pizza.
Yum. Okay, the pizza is going in, and this has
So it'll only be 9 minutes. I checked on that. This marble is a marble top. I got it at an antique shop, and if you come around here, you'll see that I put it on top of a dresser.
so functional.
Kids art supplies, and I can roll out my pizza dough, and then when it comes out, I throw it right on that. And it wasn't the right size; it was a little short. And I said, "How am I going to remedy this?"
a basket.
And I put the long basket, which normally we just put all our bread in.
What a great idea. And it's the perfect size for the
Yeah.
kitchen.
It is. It's a nice narrow island. Big, and I bought a huge collection from a guy who inherited them and didn't have
So
any
this is
use for them.
Compare.
Yeah, it's called Compare, and it's spelled Quimper. So
I probably called it Quimper in the past.
yeah, so they call it Compare.
And I'm looking at Amy's collection over here, and here's the blue, a little bit I've been collecting for Emma's bedroom. And she has beautiful collections of a lot
And
of
then up
china
in there
and
is
porcelain
the
and the wedgwood.
which is the Queensware.
We got a reflection here, but beautiful collection. And this cabinet alone is beautiful too.
Wow.
Oh, look at that. It smells amazing.
Actually, Ben, you want to take a look at the garage?
Yeah, sure. I'd love to.
You know, if we go, we'll go look at the garage. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Sure.
Bye, guys.
We enjoyed a delicious lunch of pizza and salad and conversation, but then the rain started, tornado warnings started, and we decided to hit the road to try to beat it. But we did get stuck in the rain, but luckily no tornado. We made it home safe and sound.
Well, kindred spirits, that's it for today. I've already blown the candles out, and I am getting ready to turn in. Bye now.